What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to a new video. My name is Abhi and I am an international student here in Canada. So, what are we going to talk about today? So, we'll be talking about the restrictions that are imposed when traveling to Canada as an international student and in this pandemic. So, what are the restrictions out there? So, this video is very important for you because you don't want to be a person who comes to Canada, touches the land of Canada, that is the Toronto Pearson Airport or whichever airport you land, and then the border security officer says you have to go back. You don't want to be in such a condition. That's completely a nightmare. So that's why I believe this video is very important. So do listen this video carefully. I have jotted down the points. I have done my homework. You do your homework and get things going. So, starting on, what are the two eligibility criteria for international students if they want to travel to Canada? What are the things that you need to have if you want to travel to Canada? So, the two foremost and important things are you need to have a valid study permit or a letter of introduction that shows that you have been approved for a study permit. Now you don't have a study permit. Actually, the actual copy of study permit, you don't have it because you are going to Canada for the first time. If you are a returning student, then yes, you have a study permit, because study permit is the thing that you get on airport. The border security officer gives you, prints at the airport and gives you in Canada. But what you have in India is an approval letter, which is also called the POE letter or also called the correspondence letter. If you still are not sure what is it, like what this POE letter is, then I would say just Google it. It's a letter which states that yes, you have been approved for studying in Canada, or you can consult with the immigration advisor that you're contacting for coming to Canada. Perfect. Now the second requirement is you need to be attending a DLI institute. The full form of DLI is Designated Learning Institute, with a COVID-19 readiness plan. Now, how to find that out? How do you know that your college has a COVID-19 readiness plan or not? So I'll provide a link in the description box. Put the name of your college in that, and if the name of your college shows up on that website, that means yes, your college has a COVID-19 readiness plan, and yeah, you fulfill the two requirements. If you meet these two requirements, you're good to go. You can board the flight. Then it sounds so good, but man, the story doesn't finish over here. You still have to do some more homework to board that Canada flight. Okay, so you have a couple of more things to do before boarding that flight. And what are those things? So the first and foremost thing is you need to have a COVID-19 PCR test done, which is not older than 72 hours before you board that flight. That's the first requirement. The second requirement is, which is the new requirement, which just came on 29th of January, and that is you need to have done an advance payment to a government approved hotel where you will be staying for 3 days. So at the time I'm editing this video, the list of hotels is out on canada.ca website, and I'll provide the link to that in my description box. Now, talking about how you can book this hotel, so there are actually two methods to book this hotel. The first one is to actually go to the hotel's website, but an important point to note here is that not all the hotels provide this. Some of the hotels do provide online booking, but for other hotels, you would actually have to call on the numbers provided on the screen right now. So there are actually two numbers based on whether you are in North America or you're outside of North America, and you'll have to make a booking via this phone call. In this phone call, they would probably ask you for your phone number and contact details and other stuff. Also, you'll have to keep a credit card or a Forex card ready for the payment. if you want me to make a video on this, like doing this phone call in real time to know how this works and what they asked for, then let me know in the comment section and I'll make a video on it, doing a phone call in real to these numbers. Okay, so now moving on with the meal cost, the hotel cost, and the transportation to the hotel. So the transportation to the hotel would be, there are actually two methods to do this. The first one is that if you have your own private vehicle parked in the airport, then yes, you can take that vehicle to the hotel. It cannot be like your relatives come at the airport and then they drop you to the hotel. That's not possible. You are only allowed to take your vehicle if it's your very own and you parked it at the airport. So that's how it works. But if you don't have a vehicle, then there is a shuttle bus service provided, and I'll suggest you to take that since it would be cheaper or maybe even free. And the other method would be to book a taxi or a limousine to commute to the hotel. So now talking about the meal. So the meal cost would be actually included in the hotel cost for 3 nights. And now the main important thing, talking about the hotel cost. So in the Toronto area, which I'm for sure would be the hottest spot where most of the students would land, over there the cheapest I could find was $979 for 3 nights, and it goes on from $979 to around $1,200 or even $1,400. So $2,000 is not the figure that you should rely on. It is actually less than that, and that's a good news for you. So it's around $1,000 to $1,500 for 3 nights. I know it's not that cheap, but we have to do this, and that's what we have got. I have told you about the hotels. The list of hotels is out. There are around 31 hotels based on the airport you're landing, and I have talked about the meals, your transportation to the hotel. And now moving back to the video, and watch the video till the end. The third thing is you need to have installed ArriveCAN mobile app. And what you do in this app, you actually put your contact info, your travel info, and your quarantine plan. Now, what is a quarantine plan? Quarantine plan is actually where they ask you like how you will be doing your quarantine, where you will be doing your quarantine. And there are two very popular options where students generally do their quarantine. One is either they book a hotel for 14 days and the other option is they go to their relative's place. So if you're going to your relative's place, you actually need to put their full legal name, you need to put their contact info, their address, their date of birth in that app, so that the government officials can actually contact them for their consent. And these are the 3 things that you need to have done before boarding that flight. Congratulations, you board the flight, you reach Canada's airport. Now what you do over there, what are the things that go over in the airport? So starting just now, according to the new rule, you will be doing your COVID test at airport. So you actually do the COVID test, and then that is why you actually paid advance. You paid advance for 3 days for staying at hotel. So you stay at hotel, wait for your test results, and if the report is negative, you go to the place where you're doing your quarantine for 14 days. And if it is positive, then you would actually go with the government officials and they will take you to health center. So they'll actually take care of you. You don't need to worry about that. Now, you at the airport, you will also meet a border security officer. Now, what does the border security officer looks from you? What do they actually want from you? They want, what is the reason for traveling for Canada? Why do you want to travel to Canada? Another thing they want to check is that are you able to complete a 14-day quarantine? Like, have you provided the information in that ArriveCAN app, which is the quarantine info, That is why I said that it's very important. um, Also, they want to check that if you have physical classes, like in-person classes at college, do you have time between the starting of your in-person classes and that 14-day quarantine? Like, can you do that 14-day quarantine before the classes start? But if your college is online, then you don't have to worry about that, because you can attend your classes while you are in your quarantine. Now, what are the documents that he will look for? He will look for a study permit or the letter of acceptance if you don't have a study permit, because you are a new student, you don't have that study permit. Another thing he would look for is the letter of acceptance from your college. So this is the letter of acceptance where the college says congratulations, you have been selected, and at the end they say pay the fees. So this is that letter which they look for. Another thing is they look for a document which shows that you have enough funds to support yourself in Canada. And guess what? Which document is that? Yeah, that's the GIC certificate. You have to show them the GIC certificate. Another thing is the border security officer is like an old aunt. They can ask for literally anything. They can literally ask for any document. So it's always better to get your documents printed. What I did was I kept 2 set of copies in my luggage and 2 set of copies in my handbag, so that I have them handy. Whenever they ask me for a document, I give them. Well, some would say that we can show that on our mobile phone, like if we don't have the document printed. I would say don't take that risk. Get your documents printed. It's always better to have that in hard copy instead of soft copy. If that document is not that important, then they might accept that soft copy also, but never take that risk. You don't want to be the person who comes here and then goes back. You don't want to be that person, right? So always print those documents. Now, yeah, that's it. These are the things that you do on the airport. Now you have completed these things. You go to the government approved hotel. You stay there for 3 days waiting for your test result. If it's negative, first of all, congratulations. You go to the place where you are doing your quarantine, and if it's positive, take care. They will take you to the health center, and when you move to the place where you are doing your quarantine, you will actually have to do a daily symptom check. Now, how you would do that? You would actually do that through the ArriveCan app that I discussed earlier. You will get to know the procedure how to do that. Also, one thing is that when you are in your quarantine, you will get a lot of phone calls from Canadian officials, from your college. Like, even I don't know from where you can get a call, but yeah, it's good. Pick them up. Always answer those calls. These phone calls are very important for your health, and especially for this country, because no one wants the virus to spread at such a rapid rate. So yeah, I'm sorry. I hope that's not COVID. Yeah, so do pick that phone calls. And that was it from today's video. And if you found that video helpful, do consider subscribing my channel, share it with your friends, and do follow me on Instagram at abhinav.inc. And that was it. Have a good one and take care.